when people arrive at the Wigwam, what I really want for them is just to have a nice, deep, long sleep. To be in the woods, to be safe and warm, and to be in the quiet, to unplug and experience what is so rare and precious in today's world with all the refrigerator sounds and neighbors and all the rest of it. You get to go into the woods and just unplug completely.
What's up, you guys, and welcome to very cold and very snowy Massachusetts. I'm actually here today with one of my best friends, Sarah, who's behind the camera today since Jordan can't be with us. And I'm so excited to share with you guys this incredible off-grid Scandinavian inspired structure that we actually had our little girls' night in last night. So let's get out of the staying cold and get on the inside because we've got the wood stove going and it is toasty in here. So the first thing that actually really fascinates me about this space is it's technically a shed. So Pamela, she wanted to kind of avoid going through the permitting and kind of building things on code and just doing it simply by building a shed and designing it in a way that feels like a house. So of course the first thing you notice when you walk into the space is the spaciousness and the brightness of it. The Scandinavian culture really emphasizes on simplicity and using nature as the element of decoration instead of putting your typical, paintings and murals and portraits on the wall. So in place of having lots of decor and knickknacks hanging around, Pamela installed large glass windows on both sides of the space that really brightens it up and opens it up. So to achieve this really unique art shape to the structure, she used a really flexible plywood called Luan, and then of course, for the support of the structure, she used birch saplings, which naturally bend easily and then help with the support of the art shape. And the siding of the structure on the outside is made from cedar shingles, which is very quintessential New England. The total square footage of this room is 240 square feet, which you would never be able to tell because of the openness and the spaciousness of it. So with this structure being completely off-grid, there's no electricity, there's no plumbing, it's pretty necessary to have some sort of heating element, which honestly I think is what makes this place so special, is having a wood stove right in the living space. So Sarah and I actually arrived here super late last night, but there was a full moon. So we got the pleasure of being able to have moonlight shining on this place all night long. We came inside, heated up the stove right away. We had some wine, we had some soup, we caught up a little bit, and it honestly felt so magical being in here, being completely off-grid, solely relying on the wood stove to keep us warm all night long. So one of the first things that you actually experience when you walk into this space is the smell. We first came in last night and it just instantly smelled like a Massachusetts winter. It smelled like pine, it smelled like herbs, and of course you can tell, obviously she has all of these dried herbs hanging from the ceiling above, and it honestly gives such a special touch to the place. So although this bed may look ordinary, it's actually a rope frame structure, which is a structure that is inspired by Old Sturbridge Village, which is a place just a few towns over from here. And of course, we don't really need to worry about it in this weather, but in the summertime, the bug netting, of course, comes in handy, but it also kind of gives it a little magical touch as well. So because Pamela is really all about the full experience, coming here, coming off grid, disconnecting a little bit, but also pampering yourself a little bit. So in the corner over here, she actually makes a lot of her own handmade products, such as teas, salves, honey, and soap. So another thing that she offers that unfortunately we weren't able to do this time around because of the weather, it's freezing cold outside, there's snow on the ground, but she has 2 cast iron tubs that she has just on the other side of this property here, and she fills them up with water and heats them by making a fire underneath the hot tubs to heat them up, and you can take an outdoor bath in the middle of the forest. But this morning we did get to experience something which was really cool and is actually part of the Finnish culture, and it's called the sauna cold plunge. And it's honestly just what it sounds like. So we went up first started in the sauna, sat in the sauna for about 20 minutes, had essential oils going, had the wood stove going. It felt amazing. And then you go outside and you plunge your body in freezing cold water and then head back into the sauna, and you do it as many times as you want, and it's supposed to be incredibly healthy for you. There's so many health benefits, from stress relief to cardiovascular health to just doing something crazy. So we had so much fun this morning, and we honestly cannot thank Pamela enough for hosting us here. We've had such an incredible time. So we actually got to experience the most incredible morning. We got to go into the sauna that the owner and the builder of this place completely built herself, and we got to hear a little bit of the inspiration behind the structure. Well, you guys, we made it to the sauna room, about to head in there now, and I just want to share with you guys how freaking adorable this woman is. She left us little robes and slippers, and she even made us this grapefruit rosemary, I think? Grapefruit rosemary water. What inspired you? What was the first thing that inspired you to build the wigwam?
Well, we have a teepee that I had grown up. My father had a teepee, and I loved the feeling of being outside but inside and warm. But with the teepee, when you put the wood stove in for the winter, the beds can't be together, and it's nice to be able to cuddle. And so I set about thinking of a structure that kind of married the Native American design elements with the Scandinavian elements from my time living in Denmark. And that is how the wigwam, the Scandinavian-inspired wigwam, came about. It's a marriage of the two, really. When I was designing the space, there were a few restrictions that I had to take in mind around building permits. So, for example, it's a shed. It's the size of the largest shed that you can have. It's on concrete blocks. There are no sauna tubes, so that I didn't need permitting for that. And then, of course, the fire code required that the wood stove be a certain distance from anything combustible. So those were the parameters, and using the black birch saplings to do the structure in the way that wigwams were built. And then the luan, which is that plywood that is very flexible and could create that U shape that we could then run the fairing strips on, and then the cedar shakes, because of course it's very hard to find bark shingles anymore, which was what the natives would have used here.
So I honestly owe a huge thank you to Pamela for hosting us last night. We had the most incredible time. This place is really special, and I'm honestly going to take a lot of elements of this place for inspiration for when we build our structures and our homes down in Panama. So I'll put all the information of the Airbnb in the description below, but that's all I got for you guys today. I know this video is different with not having Jordan around and him being behind the camera today, but let's give a big shout out to Sarah for filming this today, and Jordan and I will be back together in a few very short weeks. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Peace and love.